Boom! It's Monday. Cheers with a little bit of coffee. All right. So let's get into it. Today, man, I got a good one for you, and I hope that you are ready because we're going to focus on a lot of practical elements in here. I love, 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 love to learn, and I learned a whole lot. I hope for the fathers in your lives and the fathers that are in here, you've had an amazing, amazing Father's Day. It started for me with being attacked by a beehive, and I got stung by wasps and a whole lot yesterday. It was one of the most memorable, to say the least, Father's Days because my kids closed the glass door from the backyard because they were rightfully doing the right thing. But then I'm fighting with all these bees, and they thought it was the funniest thing ever, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be talking about it forever. But I am okay. Thank God I am not allergic to any bees. But hope you had an amazing one. All right, let me get into this training today. Today, we're going to focus on visibility to speed. See, it's one thing to be visible, but it's another thing to be visible everywhere but fast, right? And we want to make sure that you not only are seen, but we want to make sure that it leads to lead generation and it leads to closing business and it leads to getting paid. So today, we're going to focus on a lot of social media execution plus lead generation strategy plus a little bit of practical how-tos to implement certain fun things. Now, you know my training usually goes pretty fast. I'm going to do my very best to leave a little bit of time towards the end, but don't think I got to do it all or I am a failure. It's not like that. I'm just giving you more tools in the toolbox, just like one of you or all of you have had the ability to learn one thing last week or the week before that, and it makes a little bit of an improvement. And as long as you're plugged in, step number 4 in our system, right? Get plugged in, you'll always get better. All right, here we go. We're feeling good? Let's do this. So I'm going to work with you on understanding how to create content that converts. I'm going to work with you on learning how to step by step, if you will, lead generate and of course master the very, very simple daily actions to drive visibility. By the way, it is just that makes the winner become a winner. It isn't the person that has the perfect post or the perfect piece of content or the perfect message or the perfect whatever you're thinking it is. It's just somebody who shows up every single day. That's really all it comes down to it, right? I'm a champion of consistency. That's where I'll always be number one. The visibility formula is to simply get seen in everything that you already have documented. What do I mean by that? I always talk, and I'm always going to continue to talk. Do you have an optimized bio? If I go to your social media right now, whichever one that you're using, whichever one that's a primary, am I going to find relevant pieces of element that tells me about your business and who you are? Or is it just born in, New York, lives in New York? That's going to connect you with the worst, and it gives no real reason for me to connect with you if you were to come across from my social media, because I'm like, who is this person and what do I care? So you want to make sure that you optimize your bio. And it's simple, right? Who do you help? How do you help them? And the results that you create. Those are the 3 elements that you really want to make sure it's crystal clear. Visuals matter, by the way. One of the things that I even do every now and then is I'll take a look at, the social media grid. Like the grid is like if you're an Instagram profile, you see all the little blocks of pictures or reels or whatever. And then just evaluate the analytics. See which one is done better than most, right? Like which is the hottest content that you created, or which are the best 6 posts of the last 30 days or 2 weeks or whatever. And based on that analytics, based on the engagement, the views, or whatever the metrics that you are utilizing, that is what you got to double down and triple down. And little ninja bonus for you, you got to make sure that it says something that you are in business. See, there are a lot of blog-like social media accounts that really don't say anything about business and they become entertaining, which is great. But how do you convert that? You want to make sure that you let the world know that you are in some business. Make sure that you utilize a call to action in your bio, in your profile, and once a week. This is me, right? Once a week, there's a post that has a bullseye call to action. Everything else is just value, 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 value. But there's that one that I'm intentional about, a call to action. So make sure that you're using, a custom booking link, and it could be right in your profile. like a link tree or, a branded website even would work great. But these are just things that let the world know that you are in business. I promise you, it doesn't automatically convert in business. And I'm not being negative or pessimistic. I'm just letting you know it takes more than just creating a link and posting to be successful in business, right? All right. Making sure that the content connects and converts is another element. So what does that really mean, right? It's not about posting regularly everywhere, but posting with a purpose. What is the purpose of this content that I'm putting out right now? Is it just for entertainment? Is it for brand equity? Is it for brand recognition? Is it for lead generation? Is it for marketing? Is it for advertising? Is it for publicity? You see, those are terms that may sound like they're the same, but they are not at all. Again, there's a lot more to get this whole thing figured out. But again, I hope that you are taking the one piece that you need today. And look, to each one of us, we're hearing something totally different. There are three types of content that you're going to be creating. Three types. One, attracts. The second, educates. The third, converts. See, the one that attracts is the one that you're showing lifestyle. You're showing behind the scene. Like, I love to brag about my studio, man. Stories left and right. I love to have content with the mic and showcasing, like the different areas that we do that. For me, that's how I attract. Some people use watches and planes and private jets and boats. Others use family. Look, many of you know Jimmy, to my kids is Uncle Jimmy, right? Like every time he posted about a shark or they were partying and whatnot, I'm showing my wife, I'm showing my kids, right? To me, that is a lifestyle that attracts me. Like that right there, 10 times more attractive than somebody with a Rolex, right? Or whatever people brag about out there. So you want to showcase lifestyle, because I know a lot of time when we hear lifestyle, people think I'm automatically saying, show me your mansion. No, lifestyle is, what is your lifestyle? You may be the person who meditate a lot. You may be the person who loves to do handstands and listen to yoga music or whatever floats your boat. Show lifestyle, because people who are like you, who think like you, who are attracted to things like you, remember, it's no longer social media. Social is building a social club. Now it's interest media. People will connect with you selfishly based on what's in it for me. Is this feeding my juices in my brain? Is this feeding something that I need? That's why most of us are following either workout profiles, food profiles, travel profiles, right? And business as well. So make sure that you are showcasing things that attract to who you are and what you do. The second piece of content that you want to focus on is to educate. That's where you're doing your tips, problems that you solve. Lorna, my sis, I got to give you your flowers. I see you out there just putting a lot more, interview-based pieces, content here and there, shorts and so on and so forth. You want to showcase your expertise. How do I know that you are relevant from a business perspective if you're not showing me that you are an expert in a specific area? You don't have to know it all, but whatever you're learning, go ahead and share it with the world. That becomes a tip and a problem that you are solving. And of course, the third type of content is the content that converts, a call to action, a testimonial, an offer, right? Like those are the pieces that I believe one a week has got to be a killer bullseye. You don't want to overkill and overdo, right? There's some people who just every post is a call to action, call to action, call to action, call to action, that I start avoiding. I'm like, all right, I get it. I saw the last call to action. I don't need to see it. It becomes like we're skipping commercials, right? That's why you want to make sure that you're doing 80% attract, educate, 20% convert, all right? Three or daily 3 post formula. So look, again, this is what works for me, and I'm recommending that you consider whatever would work for you based on what I'm sharing with you, right? So in the morning, and please don't compare yourself to what I do. My team and I, we post a lot. And I'm saying sometimes it's like 10 reels in a day. Sometimes it's like reels and blogs and, just everything everywhere all the time. You know how I operate. But here's what I would say just to kind of get things rolling. 1 in the morning, value, inspiration, something that emotionally gets me going. It's not good enough. I love you. It's good that you're starting. It's not good enough to just take a picture of your coffee or take a picture of your workouts, like it's great that you're in the gym and you're just taking a picture of a wall. Hey, I'm about to work out. What is the value or the inspiration that gets me to say, man, that's powerful? That gets me to say, that's funny. That gets me to say, I want to be part of that. That gets me to want to be something alongside you, right? In the afternoon, an educational or a process peak. And it could be something as simple as, man, this morning I was in this webinar with this handsome young man from Morocco who looks amazing in every single way. And wink, wink, you don't have to say that part. I'm being funny, right? But making sure that you're sharing what you've learned. And it could be something from a blog, from a podcast, from an audiobook, from a YouTube video, something that just, hey, I watched, I learned, I heard, I read, I saw, and it taught me. And I want to tell you my perspective on how it's helping me. That education or process peak is going to make you a person of interest, right? It's going to create engagements. It's going to allow people to agree or disagree with you. Man, I love it when people will comment on my stuff like, I actually see it differently and here's how. Like, right on, great. That's engagement. That creates relevance in the marketplace. And then in the evening, something that creates engagement. My favorite thing, like right now, especially, I love where I live. There's enough things that are going on in the morning that can create conversations. Like later on today, Oklahoma Thunder, the basketball team, and Indiana Pacers are playing tonight, right? I'm gonna post just a picture that says, who you going for, Oklahoma or Indiana? And I'm just gonna let the world go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Guess what that's doing? It's moving and shaking my algorithms, and it's giving me the ability to do what? Message each one of them saying, thank you so much for being part of the conversation. How the heck have you been? And just like that, new conversation, just like that, new discovery, just like that, new ways that I can engage with people who I didn't talk to in a very, very long time. And of course, it could lead to business as well. Lead generation engines are important to have. Now, again, do not get caught up on the mechanics. I just want you to focus on the activity. Use polls or use engagement posts. You know, when you post a story and you can, use a post, or you can put ask me any questions, or you can put anything that people can click on. Give them something to click on and they'll click on it. Give them a heart in the corner and they'll click on it. Give them a fire on your workout. They'll click on it. That leads you to, again, respond right back in DM. Thank you so much for engaging. Thank you so much for the heart. Thank you so much for the fire. And then that leads to conversations as well, right? And be strategic, and remember, with purpose. Like, drop something about a pain point. Like, are you a funnel person, or are you, an active prospecting person? And watch them, boom, 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 boom. And those tell you what, hey, we're in business, we're in business, we're in business. We are your prospect. We are your prospect. Make sure that you also embed a comment strategy in place. Drop real value on other people's posts. 10 per day. I know it sounds like a lot, but wake up an hour early and go back to sleep an hour late. You want to change the world? This is what it's going to take. It's not going to be comfortable, right? So what does that mean? That means that as I'm scrolling and I see somebody that posts something of business that it may be my area of expertise, go in the comments. Even open your little comment, open the camera. There's a camera option, and whip out a video. Man, this is so valuable. Hey guys, Ali in here. And I just wanted to give a kudos to John. John, man, that was so great. And I even agree with you. And here is why. And give a little bit of a 30-second of value as well. But you know what I just did? I just tapped into that network. They just saw, who is this guy with this knowledge? Who is this person with this information? You can tap into that. And again, creating new friends, new followers, new connections, right? When it comes to that DM workflow, very first and important piece, don't ever just start with a dry, blank, open to business. Always talk the person about a sense of gratitude or empathy or relatability, right? Like, hey, man, thank you so much for connecting. Thank you so much for voting. Thank you so much for engaging. Thank you so much for the heart. Thank you so much for your support. Just start with a thank you note, because that forces a you're welcome. But we got dialogue. Now we're talking. We're going back and forth. Then from a thank you or a gratitude, when there is dialogue, then you can ask, hey, by the way, what made you like that post? What made you participate in this content? What made you answer? What made you say that? Again, furthermore, that dialogue, so we can create a little bit of comfort before we switch it into, are you in business? Yes, I am. Dude, we need to talk. When can we schedule something where we can at least have a virtual cup of coffee? That's a Zoom like we're doing right now. Or, hey, I got this checklist, or I got an ebook, or I got a class, or I got a webinar on Tuesday with an amazing group of people. Wink, wink, wink. That's tomorrow. I definitely think you would appreciate it. And by the way, it's my treat to you as a guest of mine. See how the conversation is not about selling, but I'd like to invite you as a guest of mine in this exclusive mastermind that we're having tomorrow in the afternoon. They come, they get a vibe check, they get a little bit of value, and of course, there's the call to action to become founder. When it comes to your follow up, look, I think you should at least consider using a tool. And there's a lot of them out there, and there are some that are even for free, right? But, some of the tools that I use, and this is not an affiliate model, I don't have an affiliate link for you or anything, but I use Metricool, Metricool. It allows you to like schedule the whole week or a month beforehand, right? Or you can use Meta Planner, you can use feedbird.com. All of these are platforms that are in there that you can literally schedule all of your content. So my team and I, we record 2 times a week, like for our own content, right? On Monday and then again on Wednesday. And I mean, I get the whole content for literally 2 times over that I need every single week. So we have an overflow of content. And then it all gets edited and scheduled in Metricool. So some platforms that you can use right away. A CRM or a tracker, at least, Google Sheets, the worst case scenario, right? If you want to do most of manual stuff. Trello is another great platform. You want to track the data that's entering from warm lead to, next conversation, call to action, follow-up date, and that kind of stuff. And when it comes, of course, to follow-up, the truth is most sales happen after the 5th contact, probably. So if you think I'm talking to John Doe and she or he is going to enroll the next, next day, unless you already had multiple touch bases with a warm relationship, many people are like, I'd rather warm market. Yes, because you've had so many touch bases with them and you have influence. Great. Man, I don't want to deal with warm market. I just want cold market. I just want strangers. Great. You still have to turn them into warm market. So however you look at it, there needs to be multiple points of connection. Just don't make the mistake and assume me following up with you. Hey, you ready to get started today? Hey, how about today? Oh my God, you're going to miss out if you don't start. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is finding the natural conversation with that individual, really doing some discovery work. Like, why is this person talking to me? Figuring out the problem that they have and providing solutions. Hey, I found this blog. It made me think about the conversation even if it has nothing to do with this process. I found a blog and made me think about the conversation you and I have had the other day. I think it's going to be very helpful for you, and provide them with that information. Dude, look at what we've done with my colleague. She's been able to raise funds for this company through our, just contact or connection point just to trigger, I really should take a look at this DIVA thing, right? I should really consider moving forward. All right. When it comes to, and this is the beautiful part for you and I, when it comes to these exposure agents, there are recordings, pre-recordings, and there are live sessions that are happening. So you just have to get good at pointing, welcoming, inviting, having them as a guest. You don't have to be the sales expert, but you have to be the relationship building master guru. Like, you just got to be so good that everybody falls in love with you and want to be around you, want to talk to you, right? Do an audit of your language. How do you talk to people? Is it with like, man, I wouldn't talk to this person unless they're going to do business with me, or I just want to figure out what are the problems that the world have, and I'm going to fix them today. And the vehicle to do so is the call to action that we have, right? Make sure that you are all the time in direct messengers. Look, I personally do all of my business in DM. Don't get me wrong. Email is great. It's a nurturing tool for me, right? But when I talk to people directly in direct messenger, they respond right back. Now, you can use a virtual assistant and, that's trusted, and they can obviously do all the messaging and all the communication. But the tool that creates instant trust and instant communication is DM, or even text message if you have a text messaging tool. I saw a statistic over the weekend. It's like over 95% of people who get a text open their text message. Over email, if you are the greatest to ever do it, over 35% open rate. And if you get like a 1 to 3% click rate, you are amazing. But text message, over 95% open, and then almost everybody at least considers to take a look at that link. So something to consider, right? Creating stories that actually leads to leads. What does that mean? It's good to create stories about lifestyle, right? But how about creating a story and ending it with a question? Let me know how are you fixing your problem? Let me know how do you make your banana bread? Let me know who's gonna win the FIFA Club World Cup that's happening right now in the United States. I am in heaven. You have no idea. I'm excited about that. That's a side note. I got distracted. But the point that I'm trying to make is you want to make sure that you are so purposeful, so intentional that we're not just wasting time putting random videos, but it creates a conversation. Remember, the purpose, for me at least, of using the digital world, I kid you not, if it wasn't for business, I probably wouldn't be on social media. If it wasn't for my passion to connect and spread so many great things that I believe are possible in the world, I wouldn't even use it. I will shut it all off and just live my life, right? But you have to make sure that you are intentional with your business, with your movement, with your passion, with your core values, and just let the world know. And the more you're doing that, I have a feeling that you're going to increase your visibility and you're going to increase your engagements as well. Here's a challenge for you this week. Post one attract content per day. Just one attraction content. That's where you show lifestyle, right? Like, I think that's an easy one, right? Create one poll per day. So in your story, you can ask, Android or iPhones, OKC or Pacers. I don't know. Don't get into politics stuff. Don't say Republicans or Democrats. You're asking for the wrong conversation there. Message 5 new leads with a call to action. Now, these are people that you are already in that 5th connection with, right? 5 new of those people that you've gone back and forth. Hey, I'm hosting a live event tomorrow with a few colleagues of mine, and I would love to have you as a guest. There's no obligation. It's value packed. Sure, we're going to have some CTA at the end, but I really believe that based on what you and I have been talking about, this will be a great 1 hour for you to get a lot of value for the day. I think whether you take all of what I shared with you and implement it all, or just a few pieces, I think you can have some amazing new blood and new conversations in the business itself. All right. I'm going to pause in here for a second. And you know me, I got love for you. Anybody that has any questions that wants to drop in here, feel free to ask away, raise your hand, unmute, and then I will do my very, very best to answer any and all questions that you may have about your business. One at a time, please. No fighting now, just one at a time. Who's registered to go for it, Lorna.
Okay. Thank you, Ali. You're always giving. I always hear so many new things. Then I gotta put it on my calendar to catch it all up. Yep. Anyway, so when you're going in the DMs, right? How many times are you DMing the person when you go in and you use that strategy of, oh, thank you for commenting on the post, right? If they don't respond to that, what's
so let's put it on a practical, I am your neighbor, right?
Yeah,
and we live literally across from each other, and I'm like, nice garden, and you say thank you, and I just wave and keep walking, right? And then you see me the next morning and I do the same exact thing. I'm like, hey, nice flowers. Hey, you got it. What's going on? And I just wave. You just have to find hey, out of curiosity, you just got to pull them into the conversation, right? Like, because if you're intentional, look, the truth of the matter is most of us have that one person that keeps talking to us and I'm like, I know you're going to hit me up about whatever MLM company that you have. Like, it's just a matter of time, right? We feel it. We have that sense. So you have to be so intentional. Like, hey, I've been meaning to talk to you when you got 5 minutes. And it may but when you get them into that conversation, just don't go into selling mode. Ask them about themselves. Hey, I'm intrigued about what you do. I see you every morning walking out of the house. At the same time, you're obviously complimenting my flowers and my garden, so there's some interest in there. What do you do? and make it about them. Love, share, give them the flowers. And then when they tell you about one pain point, and what I know about us human beings, when somebody says to us, man, you're doing so great, what do we say? Well, I'm just trying. Uh-oh, I hear a little bit of a pain point. Like, what do you mean you're trying? You're killing it. Like, what's missing? Well, just more clients. Ding, 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 ding. A reason why. Okay, well, what are you doing right now? Not much. Why not? I don't know what I'm doing. Ding, 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 ding. Here's pain point number 2. Just be kind to people and they will tell you exactly if you're listening, not listening to sell, but if you're listening to care, I promise you, they'll tell you everything. And by default, if you are in your personal growth journey ready to truly help a person, that's when you earn that monetization. Because if I tell you, well, look, based on what I'm hearing, I would recommend you do this, you do this, you do this, you do that. And you're going to say, man, that sounds like a lot. Well, I'm part of a community that can help you actually from A to Z. And I got a lot of friends who are experts in this area. And heck, I can help you out myself as part of my business. Now we're getting into one link that's pulling you closer, one link, but it started with what? Me being intentional and caring about you, not just like, you got a credit card? Because I'll tell you afterwards what I got if you got a credit card in your hand, but you got to tell me you got a credit card. That's what people see. And that's where, look, I think that me and you and the old school generation will smoke anybody from the new generation. And here's why. We're so good at communicating. We know what it felt like to shake hands, look people in the eye, and saying hello. And no, we had certain etiquette. This new generation, and I'm telling you right now, my nephews went to the prom without a date. And when I said, bruh, what you mean? What do you mean you didn't go with a date? Where's she? He goes like, no, serious. I'm like, why? He goes like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like talking to anybody. And I was like, wow. For me and you back in high school, we're like, well, we won't go to the prom. We want to hide. What do you mean I'm coming by myself? And I come to find out 5 of his friends went without any dates. And I asked all of them. I saw them yesterday. I'm like, you guys, you must have had something else planned. And they showed me every picture. They were in the Poconos just hanging out and doing whatever 18-year-olds are doing, but there were no dates. I'm like, bro, your generation is crazy to me. But that's because you and I know how to communicate while the new generation knows how to scroll. They don't communicate. They send links and DMs and one picture or whatever it may be. So use your gift that God has already given you. Just do it on a virtual space. Always think, this is my neighbor. What do I say to my neighbor? And that conversation will come to you organically. I hope that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that the context. The minute you said this is my neighbor, it clicked, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got it. It's everybody always says like, man, I haven't talked to somebody since high school. What do I say? If you bump into them in a mall and you haven't seen them in high school, what are you gonna say? Oh my God, I haven't talked to you since
Long
high
time no
school.
speak. Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you say. Just be human.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it in here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Great question, by the way. And I meant what I said, Lorna. Keep doubling and tripling down, sis. You are like, I start to see you everywhere, which is what we want. Yeah. Justine, what you got?
Okay, first of all, I need to find my mute. I am it's early here on the West Coast, so I'm not gonna lie. So my question is, well, first of all, I just want to tag on. I did start doing what you're talking about, and it does work. And we don't need to get too worried about how much is too much. Most people, I am shocked, especially people that have like thousands of followers or 100 something. I'm shocked they will reply to me, because I think people do this. And I do what you said. Thank you for liking our California Diva post. That is all great. I noticed in myself, and I want to make sure I'm not creating confusion, because I do different things that are still in alignment around vocal development, finding your voice. I trying to use a strategy of like, let me post a podcast from my voiceover pod. Let me post a red carpet interview. Let me post like every day, kind of mixing it up. I want to make sure I'm not creating confusion by doing that. And so that's my concern. but also it's just very much me. And I don't feel like I'm not posting such disparate things, but
Yeah.
can you speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. I'll tell you exactly my sauce. So one of the things that I do on my end is, and you'll notice it if you kind of take a look at like my Instagram or whatever, you'll realize what I'm doing. It's one campaign at a time. So almost like you'll see 6 to 12 pieces of content that are specifically about a topic with a specific vibe, with a specific clothing. Matter of fact, this recording right now will end up getting cropped up into reels, and you'll see continuity between one reel to the other, one reel to the other. Same thing on shorts, which Google Shorts, by the way, if you're not using Google Shorts, you're crazy. Google Short gives me 10 times the visibility than any other platform that I'm in, because most people are not using it. And one of the things that I love about Google Shorts, it's the Reels version of, YouTube Shorts, sorry, not Google, YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts, yeah. So when you post a new short, it says, do you want to tag another video that is related to this one? So when one is done, it automatically just plays the next one after it. And again, what I do is there's continuity, one campaign at a time. So for 3 to 4 days in a row, it's the same, almost like training that's just broken up in multiple pieces. So I'm feeding you a 1 hour training, 1.5 minutes to a minute at a time. So it creates continuity. Now, once you're done with that campaign, then you can go to voiceover, do the same exact thing, give it like 2 to 3, maybe 6 pieces of content, and so on and so. So there's continuity. There's chapters in my social media. And if I'm featuring somebody, I don't post anything about myself. It's just that one person repeatedly. Heck, look, I think some of you know who Ray Higdon is. Anybody? Okay, Ray Higdon is one of the goats in network marketing training out there, right? And I've been trying to just figure out a way to kind of connect with him, talk to him. I've done business with him in the past, but we are not colleagues or acquaintances that I can just text him or call him, right? So I shared a post from a client that we've worked with that was giving kudos to Ray Higdon, and I was like, got him. I posted and then I shared, and I was like, huge kudos to Ray Higdon for impacting the world, influencing my own client, yada, yada, yada. What do you think Ray Higdon does? He DMs me right away. Let's talk, brother. Thank you for the shout out. Would love to connect. And I was like, all I had to do is give Ray Higdon flowers, love on people, share. But again, why did that come as a successful? Because you can see continuity of a specific message, one campaign at a time. So it's short doses, 3 to 6 pieces of content, but it's one campaign at a time. You will not hear love vibration and then let's talk about God and then let's talk about finance and then let's talk about, it's literally the same message from different vantage points at a time, and then let's move on. I hope that answers your question somewhat.
In a daily, how do you post more than once a day?
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing in my head.
So check it out.
Okay.
Check it out.
Okay.
My side sometimes is 10 times a day in multiple platforms.
Hmm.
It's a lot. And I talked about this in the past. It's monopolizing the internet because AI is coming and is going to make you and I irrelevant. So I'm going to put so much stuff out there. So as you're scrolling and AI is taking over, I'm pretty sure you realize, just so you know, it kills me when I see the ads right now all over the internet. They're all AI. It's not a real person. And it makes me, the one that makes me like, that irks me the most is when I see they start with scripture. They say, praise God, and they'll say a whole verse. And then it'll be like, this is why God spoke onto me, and I'm selling this product and service, right? And I'm like, that's AI. Like, I know the software that you're using. We have it, and people are buying into the hype. So you need to post more. And that's why the tool that I recommended, Metricool, it allows you to pre-schedule the whole week, the whole month. You can pre-schedule as far as 6 months if you want to. I wouldn't recommend that because, the media cycle is so changing and algorithms change and threads are changing so much. I wouldn't do more than like 3 to 5 days at a time. But Metricools will allow you to schedule so much where you would say like, how in the world is Ali posting 10 times a day? I'm not. It's pre-scheduled on Sunday for the whole week.
And when you say 10 times a day, are you 10 times a day on different platforms, 10 times a day on each platform, or like 3 times on LinkedIn and 2 times on?
It goes everywhere. Sometimes it's like sometimes it depends on whatever we have scheduled, because we do have a schedule that we work off of. But sometimes it's a blog, it's a press release, a bunch of podcasts 3 days in a row, and then. But as far as social media specifically, it's at the very least 5 times per social media platform. That's like worst case scenario.
Okay. Okay. I need to metricool it, I guess.
That's a one way of saying it.
Really down with it, you know?
Yeah. Lorna, what you got?
Hey, can you speak a little bit into because I feel like we create a lot of content, right?
Yep.
What would it look like for us to repurpose the content we already posted? What's your talk? What's your take on that?
So I do
Wait,
it.
let me add one more piece.
Mhm.
In the context of what you just said about the campaigns.
Mhm. So 99% of the stuff that you see,
Yeah,
if it's like in stories, it's
yeah.
repurposed. So anything that comes out of my TikTok memory, Facebook memory, or whatever, like, oh, it's repurposed. I'm like, ooh, this one is not even edited. Hey, I downloaded. Can you put some captions on this one? Edit it and just repurpose it. So,
Oh.
and here's the thing: the audience from last year is not the audience from
Yeah.
this year. And you have that one piece of content, like, I remember how hot this one was. Now look, you can just click a share button and have it reset, right? So here's what
Mm,
I do. I save it, right? Like download the actual content itself, and then I
mhm.
comment on it, because especially like Facebook or LinkedIn, when you comment, it goes right back up top. And then edit it in a different format that it goes and gets repurposed somewhere else that never even existed. So yeah, repurposing
Okay.
is it's those are assets that, this is why, just so you know, when I create any piece of content, I don't timestamp it. You won't hear me give a day, a time, unless if it's like a Father's Day or Christmas, something like that specific. But you won't hear me say, hey, so it is July and we are so, nope. I don't give a timestamp. I don't mention a location. I don't mention a product or service. I just give the value, and I make sure I'm intentionally timeless with it, because I know it's going to come back up again.
Thank you.
You got it. Anybody else? Great questions. I got 3 more minutes.
Well, okay, I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at your content right now.
Yeah.
And how you broke up this interview with, is it Tanya?
Yeah, Tanya is my partner in the
Yeah.
studios. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that's a podcast.
yeah.
That's an hour and 10-minute podcast, right? And then you take the hottest pieces from it. This is the reels, right? And shorts, and even LinkedIn now, they have their own reels version that just got added like two or 3 weeks ago. But the transcript becomes a blog. So now you're blogging with it. Like, yeah, oh yeah. Like, give me one piece of content. I will transcribe it. I will turn it into a blog. I will turn it into branded quotes with a picture, like with this and this and that. I'll turn it into reels. I'll turn it into 3-part, 10-minute videos for YouTube new course. There's so much that can come out of it. Don't just create a piece of content and move on from it. I will juice the lemon out of a lemon. That's what you got to do
Okay,
with the
so here's
content.
my question
Yeah.
about that, because there's all these things, right? Descript will make all these videos for you. So I hired someone to do the podcast I do around voiceover.
Yeah.
And he created all these reels, but they're too short. They're like, Descript made them too short. He just like plugged them in. So what are you watching all this stuff and deciding?
I have a team that works with all this stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
Now
right. So
I will give you a better tool though. I'll give you a better tool. Use riverside.fm for recording purposes. Don't use Zoom.
yeah, I have it.
Yeah. So and then auto generate with Riverside, like magic clips. And because it allows you to choose based on who is on, like what person to get their reels, and then you can choose the length of the videos. So we usually do 30 to 90 seconds. That's what we choose. Yeah.
Okay. And then like I can give, I have this VA now, and he's kind of waiting for me to give him stuff to do. So I love that he turned over the clips to me, but now I just need to make them longer and maybe start using a different tool with him.
Well, why are you doing that if you have a VA is my question.
No, I'm saying I want to turn more tools over to him. I need to give
Yeah,
him better.
so Riverside is your best friend for that.
And I
Yeah.
have Riverside, and I have just stopped using it. You guys record on Riverside. Yeah. So
Riverside is absolutely like the best tool. And there, if you were here, we use a different software because it's hardwired. But virtually, Riverside is the best tool that I can recommend for recording because it gives you 4K if you have the paid version, of course, and it's like $35 a month. But it has 4K resolution. Zoom or anything else will not give you 4K resolution. They say they recorded it, but it immediately drops the resolution. Riverside keeps it. Riverside does 80% of the denoising and all the virtual edits. Like it would literally clear the sound. And the best part about it is, you still have to physically edit certain things, but the clips and the reels, I mean, it's a gold mine for us.
and was that a newer feature? It wasn't always like that, right?
Which
Riverside?
one?
The clips and the features.
I've been using it for forever,
Really?
so
Okay, I
I'm
just
not
didn't use
sure.
that. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'll go back to that.
Yep.
Thank you.
You got it. All right. Anybody else? Going once. Going twice. Let's sell out tomorrow, y'all. Let's bring the masses tomorrow. Let's have one of the best events that we can have, and let's convert. I hope today was as fruitful as I intended it to be for you, and I appreciate you all for giving me your time. Much love, and I'll see you next time. Blessings.
Thanks, Ali. This was
You got
awesome.
it.
Have a
You
great
got it.
week.